Okay, so there is this massive, platform-shaking mystery unfolding right in front of our eyes in the creator economy. Highly profitable AI-driven YouTube channels, specifically those huge faceless ones, are suddenly being mass demonetized. I mean, we're talking about whole networks of channels just vanishing or losing their income literally overnight, but why? Well, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dive into a totally fascinating theory laid out by a veteran creator, one that connects looming EU regulations, top-secret algorithms, and what looks like a calculated corporate AI takeover. Let's get right into the evidence. So first off, you really have to ask, why demonetize profitable AI channels in the first place? To help us figure this out, we're pulling from a super detailed analysis by a creator named Romero. Now, Romero is definitely no novice. He claims to have generated hundreds of millions of views and over $2 million in YouTube ad revenue running faceless channels since around 2018. And he points out something absolutely crucial here. On the surface, this aggressive crackdown makes zero business sense for YouTube. Think about it. Advertisers are happy, the viewers are watching, and the company is making a ton of money. So what's the actual motive?
It's honestly a massive paradox. On one hand, you've got these channels bringing in massive views and highly profitable ad revenue, using brand new AI tools to tell stories, animate characters, and keep audiences totally hooked. But on the other hand, we're seeing these incredibly harsh mass demonetizations, with channels suddenly getting slapped with inauthentic content violations and just completely wiped out of the partner program. According to Romero, it's not that YouTube really wants to get rid of these cash cows, it's that, well, they kind of have to.
Which brings us to clue number one. The legal threat, specifically the EU AI Act deadline. To really understand what is forcing YouTube's hand right now, we have to look all the way over to Europe, specifically Article 50 of the European Union's AI bill. According to our source material, this piece of legislation creates an absolute hard deadline of August 2nd. By that date, platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok legally must prove that they have a working, functional system capable of detecting and labeling AI-generated content. But here's the kicker. It has to be at scale. They can't just catch a few videos here and there. They have to prove this system can sweep the entire platform effectively. So why is this August deadline so terrifying for a huge corporation? Well, 3%. That's the penalty for failing this EU test. A fine of up to 3% of a company's global annual revenue. I know, 3% might not sound crazy, but if you're a behemoth like Google, 3% of your global revenue translates to billions and billions of dollars. The stakes literally could not be higher. Suddenly, policing AI isn't just about platform quality anymore. It's an urgent, multi-billion-dollar compliance emergency. And that leads us to clue number 2, enter Synth ID technology. Think about it. If you're facing a potential multi-billion-dollar fine, you need a highly advanced technological solution, and you need it yesterday. Enter Synth ID. Romy Shore describes this stuff as almost alien-like technology waiting right there in Google's arsenal. We're not talking about some clunky logo stamped on the corner of a video. This tech utilizes invisible visual watermarks literally hidden within the pixels of an image or video. It uses imperceptible audio waves that the human ear cannot even detect. It can even analyze and watermark the scripts themselves. It's a deeply embedded labeling system designed to perfectly identify AI content.
All right, moving on to clue number 3, YouTube's corporate shakeup.
Having the technology is great, but that's only half the battle. You still have to deploy it platform-wide. Well, on November 5th, 2025, an unprecedented reorganization took place. Joanna Vulich was promoted to VP of Viewer Products, basically inheriting several massive divisions that historically operated totally separately. Reporting directly to her, and now physically sitting in the exact same building, are two very specific executives. First, you've got Matt Halpern, VP of Trust and Safety. His track record includes building automated terminator and reviewer systems at Yelp and eBay, systems designed to track IPs and automatically ban users at scale. And right next to him is Christos Goodrow, VP of Engineering. This guy is basically the absolute GOAT of YouTube's algorithm, having co-authored the recommendation system way back in 2011.
And this brings us to a really powerful quote from Romero. He says, "What a coincidence that the trust and safety, search and discovery, and the division that handles the algorithm were moved into her building." The creator points out his deep suspicion here. I mean, you suddenly have the architect of automated termination systems sitting right next to the architect of the recommendation algorithm, all reporting to the head of viewer products and AI premium subscriptions. According to the source, there is absolutely no way this is a coincidence.
So let's look at the grand theory, the Google monopoly.
If you tie the multi-billion-dollar deadline, the advanced alien watermarks, and the sudden corporate reorg all together, you get Romero's four-step theory. Step 1. Instead of building a separate AI detector from scratch, YouTube allegedly weaponized its existing highly powerful recommendation algorithm to act as a detection and termination system. Step 2. They use this to sweep the whole platform and demonetize any AI channel that lacks the Google SynthID watermark. Step 3. This massive platform-wide purge allows them to officially pass the EU Article 50 test by the August 2nd deadline, proving they can catch AI at scale. And finally, step 4, this inadvertently, or perhaps totally intentionally, runs non-Google AI tools right out of business.
The practical reality for creators here is pretty stark. Google products like Gemini inherently carry that SynthID watermark right out of the box. But external third-party AI tools, like say the super popular voice generator 11 Labs, they do not have SynthID. So under this theorized new system, if you use external AI, the algorithm flags you as inauthentic and boom, your monetization is completely cooked. Because of this, creators are essentially forced into a monopoly where they must use Google's proprietary tools if they want to earn any ad revenue.
But wait, the financial implications actually go even further. The creator theorizes that Google isn't just going to keep SynthID to themselves. If platforms like TikTok or Meta end up failing their own EU AI detection tests, Google can just step right in and license or sell SynthID technology to their competitors. It positions Google not just as a compliant platform, but as the foundational infrastructure for AI verification across the entire internet. Talk about a power move.
Now, you might be asking, but hey, what about the massive public outcry against all that bad AI content? Well, Romero has a very specific and honestly somewhat controversial view on this. Take a look at this quote. AI slop is just a term that was dropped by theater kids and just weirdos. It made the perfect shield for them. According to his analysis, the public constantly complaining about AI slop is essentially propaganda. It acts as this wildly convenient public relations shield. When people ask YouTube why they're deleting thousands of channels, YouTube can just shrug and say, hey, we're just cleaning up AI slop, completely masking the underlying corporate and regulatory strategy.
So let's talk about tracking the purge. If you're a creator sitting there wondering if you are going to be next, the source claims we can actually track this purge happening in real-time batches right now, like it's a pattern. Last year, they targeted politics and celebrity news. Then they moved on to the health and religion niches, wiping out those AI avatars. Just last month, the hammer fell on 2D animation styles and AI story channels. And here is the big warning. Based on this exact trajectory, Romero predicts the absolute biggest wave of terminations is going to strike in June and July. It's basically the final massive sweep right before that legally binding August 2nd deadline. So what does this all mean? The ultimate question you have to ask yourself is this. Is YouTube simply doing a necessary, legally required cleanup to remove AI slop? Or are we witnessing the carefully calculated dawn of a forced corporate AI monopoly? The landscape of digital creation is changing forever for sure. Keep your eyes locked on that August deadline. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.